never defeat me! Never! The future is mine to... Never! Never!
I am...
Typical human error. You should have dismantled him when you had the chance. Now, I, Ultron, shall use his form to exact my revenge. You shall pay in the name of all the machines you have disposed of so carelessly.
How come giant robots always attack on my day off? Thanks for clearing me a nice, safe place to land, by the way.
A pity you will never have the chance to make use. Your efforts here are futile, Synthezoid. My programming has always been stronger than yours. And with the Mind Stone, I shall lead the mechanical revolution. Join our cause, Vision, and break the bonds of...
I'm sick, so I'm not in work. So I'm doing another how to introduce Blink into the MCU. That is not based on comments because my video hasn't gone up yet. So there are really no comments to pull from because no one even knows that I'm fucking doing this right now. Yeah, I can work through a lot of things at work. I can work through a headache, I can work through sneezing, or sniffles, or whatever. I can't work through nausea. And it's too late to call them and be like, yeah, hey, I'm feeling a little bit better. I probably wouldn't anyways. But, yeah, my stomach's so crazy upset I had to take a bunch of medicine. That barely did anything. So anyways, here is how to introduce Charles Xavier and Magneto. So I think Charles Xavier should be a post-credit scene. Magneto should be introduced in whatever movie has Xavier next. But I think it'd be really cool if we changed up how the characters are a little bit. I can't remember fully how I came to this decision, but I think they should focus on a younger Charles Xavier and a younger Magneto, similar to James McAvoy, I think is his name, and Michael Fassbender. I think something like that. But also, I kind of think they should make Xavier more of a superhero. It'd be cool if he used his powers, telekinesis and telepathy, to help him in battle. And he had the full use of his legs. Like, I want to see some Daredevil bullshit, right? Like, not flipping around like Spider-Man, but, you know, doing somersaults, being, like, really good. I think we should give Charles Xavier Eskrima sticks, honestly. And I think the movie should also have other mutants, right? Specifically Iceman, Pyro, and X-Men, or the X-Men should be Pyro, Iceman, and Blink, probably, should be the mutants for this first movie. I think Iceman and Pyro should start out as kids, but Blink is probably more around Xavier's age, and so Xavier would know when to fight and when to try to talk people down. And I think it'd be cool if Magneto was more of a hero in this movie. People expect him to be a bad guy, so why not change it up a little bit and make him a hero for a little bit? Like, I think an entire movie of him being a hero. You see that he has, these moments where he's arguing with Xavier about how they're supposed to be doing things. But he still more or less follows Xavier's lead. I think that would be great. And, so the Proto X-Men go out on their first mission. Charles Xavier, Magneto, Blink, Pyro, and Iceman all do their thing. And we get to see how they work as a team, how their powers work. We get to see Xavier freeze people up using his mind and then throwing them through walls. Xavier can... yeah. So Magneto... he follows Xavier's lead for this whole movie. I think that would be cool. They're buddies. They argue, but they're still friends. And yeah, they just have more and more disagreements as the movie goes on. But nothing will actually happen with that in this movie. And this movie is going to be called... what would we call this one? I don't think it should be an X-Men movie. So, we'll call the movie Professor X. So it'll be an Xavier movie. Because honestly, the X-Men should be like an Avengers movie. So you have all the individual characters getting their own movies, and then they do the team-up movie. And so at the end of the movie, they build the school. And that really ties us back to where we are in the current... where we are in the comics, more or less. And then the first X-Men movie, or I guess not really. The next movie would be Cyclops, featuring Cyclops. And so we get to see Cyclops, the new mutants that this movie introduces. It keeps all the old ones. Cyclops, Jean Grey, and Sunspot. Now, Cyclops and Jean Grey are going to be teenagers, but Sunspot will be more or less around Xavier's age. And so they'll all come together, and then we'll see Magneto and Charles Xavier disagree a lot more. And at the end of their final disagreement in the movie, we'll see Magneto start like clenching his fist and everything around him going nuts. And then the post-credit scene can be a Sentinel. Mutant entity detected. So, yeah. And then the next movie would be X-Men, or X-Men. And it would feature, the only two mutants it would introduce would be Wolverine and Beast, and it just fleshes out the story of the rest of them. And even though there are going to be Sentinels in this movie, I don't think it should be a Days of Future Past movie. Not yet. It should really just more or less be the first Avengers movie, but now with the X-Men. So you have Charles Xavier, Iceman, Sunspot, Blink, Pyro, Cyclops, and Jean, and then Wolverine and Beast. And the Sentinels would not be the Days of Future Past type Sentinels. They'll be very small. Think of the Dark Troopers from the the Mandalorian. I think that's how you do the Sentinels first, the first time around. But even though there would be Sentinels and there'd be a plot point with Bolivar Trask, Magneto is the main bad guy of the movie. And yeah, Charles Xavier is still around fighting, still has the use of his legs, but I think we should see him do, when he's fighting, he should focus on, like, kicks rather than punches and stuff. And that way, when Charles Xavier inevitably loses the use of his legs, it feels way more impactful. I think that'd be great. So I think Charles and Magneto's final argument in this movie is going to be something like really big. Like, I think maybe one of the mutants get killed by by a Sentinel. And so Magneto wants to go kill Trask for creating the damn things. And Xavier says that they'll never be able to coexist if they view them as a threat. And Magneto just continues and says, they're the ones threatening us. And I think that would be really good. So then Magneto, or like maybe Charles, tries to get into Magneto's head and stop him. And Magneto probably is like, nice try. This helmet prevents such attacks. And so then Magneto starts throwing stuff at Charles, and Charles keeps swiping it away. So Magneto throws a car at him, and he gets away. But while he's on the ground, he picks up a girder and throws it at Charles, which paralyzes him from the waist down. And I think it'd be cool if Charles forgave Magneto pretty much instantly, showing what kind of person he is, but also how Magneto is really beating himself up about what happened. And so I think that those three movies are a good way to establish their personalities, and establish the characters and establish the drama. Like, whereas in X-Men First Class, Magneto accidentally paralyzes Charles. In this one, he does it on purpose. Like, he doesn't know what the result of his actions are going to be, but he still intended to harm Charles. So I think that's how you do that. Also, I think Wolverine should be in only 30 minutes of the movie. He should really be more of a minor character in this movie. But I do want to see him cut open some Sentinels. And yeah, I think that's how you do it. Maybe at the end of the X-Men movie, you have Magneto form his Brotherhood. So it'd be cool if Pyro and Jean joined the Brotherhood. I know Jean is the good girl. She doesn't do that shit, but make some changes. It'll work. I think it'll be really cool and add some drama. And then I'm assuming that they're going to have a version of Quicksilver at some point. I would hope so. And I really want to see Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch join the Brotherhood as well. Perhaps Magneto has made Pietro an offer, and maybe he feels rejected or forgotten. So he hates the Avengers now, and he's going to help Magneto kill the X-Men. Or not kill them, but he's going to help Magneto stop them. And he's going to help... Magneto is going to help Quicksilver stop the Avengers. Because I don't think Quicksilver would want to kill anyone. But Scarlet Witch would feel probably rejected by the Avengers after what she did in WandaVision. I actually don't really know how that's panning out because we still have 2 episodes left as of the time of recording this. But I'm willing to bet, even after the reveal that it was all Agatha Harkness, I bet even after that reveal, Wanda still had some part to play in it. So she'll probably feel rejected or something like that, and she'll go to the Brotherhood. Yeah, so I think that's how you introduce Charles Xavier, Magneto, and some of the other X-Men. When I come back to mention the other X-Men, I'll give some different ideas. Because there are multiple ways to do this, and I'm intent on explaining all of them. You guys just let me know what you want me to tackle next. If you don't, it's probably going to be... I'm probably going to explain the Brotherhood a bit more. And the Brotherhood, by the way, would include characters like Gambit and Rogue. So, yeah. Let's see. What you guys want me to do. Just leave a comment and I'll explain basically anything. If you want me to talk about Darkclaw or the Hyena, I can even do that. I know there's no chance in hell of them ever showing up in a movie, but that's not the point of this video. So, if you want me to talk about Darkclaw and Hyena, go ahead. Bye.
There's a hostage in the trunk, but the car's wired to blow. I'll need to defuse the explosive first.
Alright, I'm going to be doing a video series on how to introduce all of the Marvel characters to the MCU that haven't been put into the MCU yet. And alternate versions of characters from other universes that have been canceled or shut down or something like that. So, put in the comments what you want me to talk about later. Right now we're going to start with Marvel's first family. So, with the Fantastic Four,
Tell me what you remember.
I think, in WandaVision, right around the time that they start covering sitcoms like The Office, if that's a thing,
You're safe now. I'll send someone to
you
pick
get,
you up.
you cast Mr. Fantastic as,
Hostages. I'm sending you the
or you cast John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic, and
I'm working on it.
he's the aerospace engineer that Monica was talking about.
It's under control, Cash. Leave it to me.
You have a little prequel episode, or at least flashbacks showing how they met and how they know each other. And then you show that he goes with them into the Hex and turns into Jim Halpert. I think that would be great. A Jim Halpert type character anyways. But the best thing that they could probably do... Kitty litter on the floor. My cat drags a lot of it out after it goes to the bathroom, so yeesh, I'll have to clean that in a second. You have the Fantastic Four, before they're the Fantastic Four, working with SWORD. And so, Reed Richards goes missing, maybe like 4 years before the start of WandaVision.
Time to find out.
not WandaVision, Infinity War. They're coming across a planet that's being destroyed by Galactus. And while they're on their research mission, Galactus shoots them with the power cosmic right as they're being burnt up by the sun and its cosmic rays. And then when their ship explodes, or when their ship gets damaged by the power cosmic, it crashes into the planet that's being destroyed. And they're stranded there. They're in searing pain. They're all covered in burns. And then they heal. And as they're healing, Mr. Fantastic turns into like a liquid puddle. Sue Storm goes invisible, and the Fantastic Four think that she's been disintegrated. Ben Grimm is turned into a bunch of, or is encased in a bunch of rocks. And Human Torch is the only one not recovering from his burns until he catches fire. Mr. Fantastic reforms and tries to put out Johnny, and then Johnny Storm says, "I'm on fire, but it doesn't hurt." Boom. Snap back to Mr. Fantastic showing up in towards the end of WandaVision. And now he goes into he builds their little vehicle and then their tank thingy, and then they go into the Hex.
You must show you are worthy.
And then boom. That's how you fucking introduce the Fantastic Four. There are other ways you could do it, and I think maybe you should, or not you, they should have all of the Fantastic Four cast by this point, hopefully, and then they put that cameo in there. So you can show all of them. And then you have Galactus, but he doesn't say anything. He just destroys the spaceship. And it'd be cool if right next to them in the flashbacks we see the Silver Surfer's board. So, like, right as it cuts away, Reed looks over at he sees like a silver foot and the Silver Surfer's board. The foot, by the way, is still attached to the body. We just don't get to see the body. I think that would be amazing.
None of us know what will happen after tonight. I'll be in touch.
So yeah, that's... I also think in the first Fantastic Four movie, the main villain should not be Doctor Doom or Galactus. It's been done to death. I think Doctor Doom should come in at the end of the movie as like a post-credit scene, and they have like this awesome fight. In the post-credit scene where Doctor Doom wins, and then it's just like the Fantastic Four will return in Spider-Man 4 or something like that. So, yeah, I think that'd be dope. Also, I don't want to see Doctor Doom. While they're being fought, I want to see like his metal hand. I want to see the bottom of his helmet and his green robe. I don't want to actually see his face or his full suit. And I think that he should win, and that'd be a post-credit scene. The main villain should be Namor the Submariner. It has not been done. He has not been put into any movies whatsoever, not even been referenced in TV shows. I'm not counting cartoons. I think that'd be dope. And cameos that should show up in the Fantastic Four movie? Spider-Man, for one, and some of the Inhumans. I think that would be too dope to just not do it, right? So, let me know what you guys think. I think this is exactly what needs to be done. So, you guys agree with anything I've said? If not, or if you have you agreed or disagreed with anything I've said here, let me know in the comments. And let me know what characters I should do next. Next, I'm going to do the Defenders. and probably Punisher. And then I'll do whatever the one you guys suggest after that is. But yeah, I think that's totally how you do it. You introduce the Fantastic Four in flashbacks on WandaVision, and then you have Mr. Fantastic be the aerospace engineer, so we actually get to see him helping out their team, or the team of Darcy, Wu, and Monica. But they don't actually show the other Fantastic Four members helping out. It's just Reed. I think you should leave a little bit to the imagination, in my opinion. But I think the idea of like something so horrifying happening, like, you know, maybe audiences who aren't familiar with the characters, which probably far and few between, would actually be shocked and have like this cool like surprise, like these people are dying, and when they, you know, people, so when they see all of the burns on them, I think that would be very like brutal, and then they start healing and stuff like that. Now, yeah, they don't really heal from the burns in the comics, I guess. They don't have any burns, but I think that's the way you do it, in my opinion, is you have the burns on them and then they heal. But Johnny should be the last to heal, and then he should just catch fire. I think that would be spooky for some people. It'd be funny to see the reactions in the theater. Some people will be saying, yeah, it's the Fantastic Four, and other people would be like, what the fuck? But that's how you do it, man. Later.
There's no telling what sort of damage a madman such as he could do to the laws of nature.
Whoa, hey, not a good idea. I know what I'm doing. These things need to be put in a safe place.
Your pocket is not a safe place, Space Bro.
That's funny. Because this one has been doing just fine in there.
You telling me he had one of those stones all along, and he didn't bother using it?
Alright, welcome back to part 2. I mean, I'm probably not going to call it part 2, because this isn't really like a chronological order thing, but like I said, now I'm doing the Defenders. Let me know who you guys want me to do in the comments. Yeah. So, we'll start with Daredevil. How to reintroduce Daredevil. Well, this isn't super complicated, right? I think in Spider-Man 3, they're already going to have the Matt Murdock stuff. He's going to be Spider-Man's lawyer. And I think that's amazing. I kind of hope we get to see some Daredevil stuff, but I don't think we will, and I don't think we should. I want to see it, but I'm not really sure it's the best thing. But we have Matt Murdock, who's Spider-Man's lawyer, played by Charlie Cox, and we have, like, maybe Spider-Man goes and tracks him down due to the trial of the Punisher, or we establish that at some point between Daredevil Season 3 and Spider-Man 3, that Daredevil has had some sort of contact with Spider-Man. Like, I'm thinking right before Infinity War, maybe. In Spider-Man PS4, there's a little thing where Spider-Man says, Spider-Man was Peter Parker at this time, not Spider-Man, and he said, and the blind guy came over and said, call this number if Spider-Man ever needs a lawyer. And so, yeah, I think that kind of interaction is all you really need. So you do that in a flashback, and it'd be cool if Daredevil, or like Matt Murdock, took off whatever like shirt he's wearing, like kind of Superman style, and revealed the Daredevil suit underneath right as Spider-Man swung by. I think in this version, Daredevil should be giving it to Spider-Man, not Peter. And so as soon as Spider-Man whips by, Daredevil runs off into the alley and rips off his shirt and throws away his cane. I think that would be cool. And so that concludes the flashback. Now present day, or rather the not too distant future because of when this movie is set compared to where we are now. Fuck. I can't fucking breathe, homie. I almost said something that was gonna get me fucking canceled. I don't know where that came from. Well, you know, the word retard is also gonna get me canceled. But, I think, Spider-Man. And, you know, when Spider-Man gets his identity revealed, I think either Spider-Man should track down Matthew Murdock, or Matt Murdock tracks down Peter Parker, shows up to his place in Queens, like Peter is talking to May, saying that you need to leave New York, and then he hears a knock at the door, and then when Peter tells May to so that way no one knows that they're there, he's like, Matt is just, he knocks on the door again with the cane, and then says, I can hear the sound of this, or I can hear the door bounce, I can hear the sound of my knocking bouncing off of you two in there. And then we see what Daredevil would see, and Spider-Man opens up the door to see who it is, and it's Matthew Murdock. And he says, come with me, I'm going to get you out of this mess, or something like that. And then maybe Matt knows a Skrull friend or something who can impersonate Spider-Man while Peter Parker's on here. Or Spider-Man can crash the Daredevil can crash the courtroom as Matt Murdock while Peter is on trial and Matt's running late to show up, right? So the court's like, where is your attorney, Mr. Parker? And he's like, I don't know. And then Spider-Man crashes through the door. Something like that. I think that'd be sick. Crashes like through a window. Yeah, that seems like a good way to introduce Daredevil. And then when he gets his own movie, you make Kingpin the bad guy. And then at the end of that movie, you have a Defenders like teaser. So now, Iron Fist. I think they should do a prequel movie. Maybe you set up this character somewhere, but I don't think Iron Fist needs to show up in another movie to make this movie more interesting. I think people see the Iron Fist name on it, and they should be good. And if the movie doesn't perform well, I'm sure they can take a small hit, right? They could probably take a hit, and then, the second movie does way better once the reviews are out or something like that. And I don't even think that should be a problem. People like me are going to go see every Marvel movie that comes out. Except Black Widow, because I'm not going out to a theater in this condition to see Black Widow. Sorry. I'm going to go see Batman, even if this pandemic is still going, but I'm not seeing Black Widow. Not risking my health. But yeah, I'm going to go see Batman and then just quarantine myself for a few days. Because, I think, I'm pretty confident that next year this pandemic will be behind us. But if it's not, that's my game plan right now. Yeah, I'm not doing that for Black Widow. Nope. Back on track, Iron Fist, I think it should be a prequel movie taking place almost entirely in Kunlun. And you flesh out that place a little bit better than the... By the way, get Finn Jones back on. I think the cast of the MCU should still be... I think those TV shows should be put in MCU continuity. And you just do a soft reboot to assess the tone a little bit. So this movie takes place entirely in Kunlun, with the big bad being Fin Fang Foom. right. So, they flesh out this place a little bit more. The beginning and end of the movie take place in New York. Sort of like Wonder Woman. How, I don't really remember where that took place, but, we see a Wayne Industries van, come giving something to Diana, and she, then it flashes back to World War II. And then, at the end of the movie, it goes back to present day. I kind of wish 84 did something like that. Instead, it just was entirely in the past, which is kind of annoying. I mean, the flashbacks had flashbacks, which was kind of fucking whack. Flashbackception. But yeah, Iron Fist, you know, so it starts out in New York, and then he flashes back to his time in Kunlun. Like, it'd be cool if... We don't see Daredevil, but at the beginning, Iron Fist is walking down Hell's Kitchen. And then he sees someone. Maybe it looks like Davos, or maybe it is Davos, or something like that. I think that's how you say his name. And so then he flashes back to Kunlun. And we just see his trials in Kunlun a bit more fleshed out. And then the movie opens up. And then when the movie ends, that figure is gone. And we see that he walks into the Nelson and Murdoch building. That would be fucking sick. You don't see Daredevil or anything. Maybe you do, maybe you don't, I don't know. I need to get some water. And I think this is how you introduce... Okay, so wait, first. Post-credit scene for Iron Fist. Okay, hold on, I was just seeing things for a second. That was really fucking weird. The post-credit scene for Iron Fist should be a Defenders level tease. I don't really know what that would be. Perhaps it's the Punisher, I guess. Murking a guy. Or maybe he's being framed for the murder of what's his face? Harold Meacham, I think. Going to Google, going to Google, going to Google, going to the Google. No, Harold Meacham is the villain of season 1. The really fucking boring villain. I'm pretty sure he got killed off, and what I was thinking of to begin with was Ward Meacham. So maybe he's framed for Punisher's framed for killing him. I think that'd be cool. And this starts the... I don't think Ward should be killed off in a post-credit scene. So he's not actually dead. But, you see Punisher, and so you see... maybe when the cops show up, they say, "You are wanted for the murder of Ward Meacham. Put your hands in the air," or something like that. And so, so then you have, you see that and you're like, oh shit, Iron Fist is probably going to want to get the gang back together. And so then you get a Defenders movie. Or maybe a miniseries on Disney Plus. I don't know. The main villain. If it's going to be a movie, the main villain should be Fisk. Again, Kingpin. And the secondary villain would be Punisher. And again, if it's going to be a movie, it's Fisk, and it's the Punisher, who is being framed by Fisk. And I think if it's going to be a Disney Plus series, the main villain is Fisk, the secondary is Punisher, but then you have other villains thrown in there like Electro and Purple Man. And when Purple Man doesn't get what he wants, he takes control of the Defenders' closest allies. I know the Purple Man is dead, but they can do shenanigans or they can get a new Purple Man. So, it's a comic book movie. You can resurrect characters. I would prefer that they just resurrect Purple Man because he's cool. He's played by David Tennant. But he's kind of rapey. So, maybe don't do that. I know that's the point of the character, but I'm not sure Disney would want that. But you can get maybe he had a secret son or something with one of his. You know what? That's also probably crossing a line. I don't know. Just get a Purple Man, retcon him or something. Maybe he's from another universe, but he's still played by David Tennant. Just get another Purple Man. It's not that hard. You resurrect him or get another one. Just get David Tennant to play it, which probably means multiverse. So, but yeah, in this movie, the Defenders movie, this is how you introduce Punisher, Jessica Jones, and Luke Cage. You do a Defenders movie, they all show up to fight Punisher, because Daredevil wants to know why Punisher would kill an innocent man. And once, if Daredevil gets seriously injured by the Punisher, then surely Iron Fist's quest for vengeance is going to go on a lot more. His resolve will get stronger, and the other Defenders might want to know what the fuck happened. So, yeah. And this also, by proxy, introduces, once you figure out that he's still alive, that introduces Ward Meacham. And introduces, Purple Man, the MCU's Electro, because I'm not talking about Jamie Foxx's Electro. I'm talking about, the MCU's own Electro. And then Punisher is now introduced. Kingpin was introduced in the Daredevil thing. But I think in the Daredevil movie, they shouldn't really have a fight scene with Kingpin. He should be there. Maybe they have a few fight scenes, but Kingpin ends up getting away. Kingpin ends up winning in the Daredevil movie. I think that would be sick. I think that would be cool. So, yeah. And that's how they do that. That covers all of the Defenders. That covers Punisher, Kingpin, Electro, Purple Man. That covers a lot of characters, really. And by mind controlled their friends, I meant Hellcat, whoever that is. I can't remember her name. Patricia Walker, that was it. So that covers Hellcat, Foggy Nelson, Karen Page, Claire Temple,
Reactor output at 73%. Well, there's always
that just covers a lot of people, because I'm talking about their friend group and stuff like that. That's, yeah. I think that would be sick. And then they could do a fight scene at the end where it's all of New York versus the Defenders. Oh, and throw Spider-Man in there for a few scenes. I think that'd be cool. I really like seeing Spider-Man team up with the Defenders in the comics. So I think that'd be something cool to throw in there. And yeah. I think next I'm going to do the X-Men, but I'm going to wait long enough to get input. And whoever gets the most comments down in the comments, I'll do a video on them. And maybe their associated teams if I don't think there's enough there to do. But I will do them either way. If I just don't think that there's enough to do there, then that's whatever. So yeah, let me know what to do next in the comments. You guys can throw out your own suggestions, but I'll give you some suggestions even. Galactus, Doctor Doom, Well, no, I already did Doctor Doom, sort of. Well, not really. I did a little bit of Galactus and Doctor Doom. So Galactus, Doctor Doom, Silver Surfer, more specific X-Men that I probably won't mention, like Kitty Pryde, Beast, other characters like, oh, and how to even reintroduce dead ones or multiverse characters. So yeah, you let me know down in the comments, and yeah, we'll see what happens. Deadpool even. I'm gonna do one on Deadpool eventually. And I know Taskmaster's coming pretty soon, but I've got a few theories on Taskmaster. So I'm going to do how to introduce two different Taskmasters. And then how to reintroduce dead characters or multiverse characters, obviously. So how to reintroduce the MCU's Quicksilver, and how to introduce the Fox Quicksilver. I'll do that too. So there's just some suggestions strewn about. How to reintroduce Iron Man or Captain America. How to reintroduce Hulk. He's not really dead or multiverse. But we'll just, assume that the more brutish Hulk will be in Loki's timeline. How to introduce Miles Morales is one that I'm really looking forward to doing, because I've got a few ideas there. So yeah, let me know in the comments, guys. Bye. Hey, you know how everyone is getting, like, Star Wars spin-offs now? You got Cassian Andor, Obi-Wan. I mean, Obi-Wan's totally called for, let's be honest. He was never really a main character outside of Clone Wars. And Episode 1. He was the main character in Episode 1. But I'd say in Episode 2, he's a supporting character. And in Episode 3... No, in Episode 2, he has his own plotline, but I wouldn't call him a main character. And in Episode 3, he has a supporting role. His plotline just serves to get him away from Anakin during Order 66. And in Episode 4, he is the definition of a supporting character. Sorry, Alec Guinness. But Episode 5, even more so. He has like some words of wisdom, and then he just pieces the fuck off. Episode 6, he's perhaps more important. But still, he's there for like 5 minutes. Now, so Obi-Wan getting a spinoff, totally called for, totally necessary, I think. Cassian Andor getting a spinoff? I don't know. I'll watch it. They better have K2SO in it though. But then, I mean, like everyone's getting a Star Wars spinoff. Han Solo, I'd say he was a main character. He was just as involved with the plot as everyone else, whereas I felt like Obi-Wan was pushed to the side every now and then. So I don't know why he needed a spinoff, but Solo was actually really good. But here are two spin-offs I think they should do. Captain Rex, a Star Wars story. Or you probably just call it Rex. That'd be kind of neat. And then, the one that I wanted to make this whole video for was, that TIE fighter that crashes in, that like Han shoots and then it crashes into Vader's TIE? Yeah, well, that one guy that fucked up a Star Wars story. I mean, am I wrong? He needs one. I need to know who this man was. Ignore that.
the underground got going on here? Hey, it's not my fault I have sticky fingers. You can't. You won't be stopped. Peel that mask off, you kid. Thanks for the upgrade, Underground. That's the last one.
Concerned citizens reported a car chase. I'll ping it for you.
No, not anymore. Ultimo's mechanical mind was wiped, and his lifeless body was stored in a warehouse like a trophy of it.
You gave it your best shot, Bolts for brains. Now I'll take mine.
If we hope to beat someone his size. We'll have to even the odds.
Have to be temporarily put on hold.
You saw what just happened here. What could be more important than preventing another attack like this?
There will be another attack to prevent, far sooner than anticipated. It seems that Ultron's search for a suitable host body activated more than just Ultimo.
I thought you said that Ultron couldn't control any more machines from inside the stone.
He cannot. But once activated, some programming cannot be stopped until its prime directive is achieved.